I gave my daughter a house, but when I got there she was crying his family had moved in. My name is Michael, and I am 70 years old. At this stage of life, you believe you've seen everything: joy, loss, betrayal, forgiveness. You believe your heart has learned all the lessons it needs, but some lessons wait patiently, hiding behind love until the moment they can hurt the most. This is the story of the day I learned that even the greatest gift can become a cage, and how a father's love must sometimes become a shield. I bought the house on Willow Creek Lane with hands that trembled not from age but from pride. It wasn't a mansion. It didn't need to be. It had 3 bedrooms, a narrow staircase that creaked with every step, and a backyard just big enough for Sunday barbecues and someday, I hoped, grandchildren running barefoot on the grass. Every nail, every wall, every window felt like a promise. I had worked nearly 5 decades as an electrician, climbing ladders in freezing winters, crawling through dusty attics in suffocating summers. I skipped vacations, drove old cars long past their prime, and learned how to stretch a dollar until it begged for mercy. I didn't regret a single sacrifice, because every hour of labor had a name attached to it. Emily. My daughter was my greatest achievement. When her mother passed away years ago, it became just the 2 of us against the world. I watched her grow from a curious child into a kind, thoughtful woman. She carried empathy like it was stitched into her bones. So when she married Ryan, I wanted her to begin her new life without fear. No rent anxiety, no landlord knocking, no uncertainty. I handed her the keys on a warm spring afternoon. "Dad," she said, tears spilling freely, "this is too much." I smiled. "No, sweetheart, this is love." Ryan hugged me next, firm and confident. "I swear I'll take care of her." I believed him. That was my first mistake. The first year after the wedding felt peaceful, at least from a distance. Emily called me every Sunday, just like she always had. She talked about painting the walls, learning new recipes, hosting friends. But slowly, subtly, things changed. Her laughter faded into politeness. Her stories shortened. Whenever I asked about Ryan, her answers came quick and shallow, like stones skipping across water. "How's married life?" I asked. "Good, Dad, busy," she'd say, then change the subject. I told myself not to interfere. I had raised her to be independent. I didn't want to become the overbearing father-in-law who never lets go. But silence has a sound to it when you know someone well enough. And my daughter's silence was screaming. One Wednesday afternoon, I decided to visit without calling first. I wanted to surprise her. I stopped by her favorite bakery and bought a lemon cake, the same one she loved as a child. As I drove toward Willow Creek Lane, I imagined her smile, her arms wrapping around me, her saying, "Dad, you should have called." When I rang the doorbell, no one answered. I knocked again. Footsteps shuffled. The door opened halfway. A woman I had never seen before stared at me. "Yes?" she asked flatly. "I'm looking for Emily," I said. "I'm her father." She studied me, then shrugged and opened the door wider. "Oh, you're Michael." "Not Dad, not Sir, just Michael." The moment I stepped inside, my chest tightened. The house no longer felt like Emily's. Large, unfamiliar furniture crowded the living room. Shoes lined the hallway wall, men's boots, teenage sneakers, women's sandals. A teenage boy lay sprawled on the floor, playing video games at full volume. An older man slept in my daughter's armchair, beer bottle on the table beside him. The air smelled heavy, grease, smoke, and something bitter. "Where's Emily?" I asked. The woman pointed down the hallway. "Bedroom." Then I heard it. Crying. Soft, broken sobs. I found Emily sitting on the edge of the bed, shoulders shaking, hands covering her face like she was trying to disappear. The moment she saw me, she broke completely. "Dad," she cried, collapsing into my arms. I held her, my heart pounding with rage and fear. "What's going on?" I asked gently. "Why are there strangers in your house?" She wiped her tears, shame flooding her eyes. "They're not strangers, they're Ryan's family." My stomach dropped. "How many?" I asked. "All of them," she whispered. "His mother, his brother, his uncle, his nephew." "They moved in?" I asked. She nodded. 3 months ago." 3 months? And you didn't tell me?" "I didn't want you to worry," she said softly. "Ryan said it was temporary, that family helps family." Her voice cracked. "Now I don't recognize my own home." She told me everything. How Linda, Ryan's mother, criticized everything, Emily's cooking, her clothes, her tone of voice. How Mark slept all day and ate everything in sight. How the uncle drank and shouted at the television. How the nephew treated the house like a playground. How Ryan defended them. "They say the house is ours now," Emily whispered. "That since you gave it to us I shouldn't complain." I felt something inside me snap. "Why didn't you stop them?" I asked. She looked at the floor. "They said I was selfish, ungrateful. Ryan said a good wife sacrifices." Tears slid down her cheeks. "I feel invisible, Dad." I stood up. "Stay here," I said quietly. "I'll handle this." I found Ryan in the kitchen, laughing with his brother like nothing was wrong. "We need to talk," I said. He rolled his eyes. "About what?" "About you turning my daughter's home into a shelter without her consent." He scoffed. "Relax, family helps family." I met his gaze. "Did Emily agree to this?" He shrugged. "She didn't say no." That answer burned. "This house," I said slowly, "is in Emily's name." Linda stormed in. "You don't get a say." I looked at her calmly. "Then you shouldn't be standing in it." Ryan laughed nervously. "You can't kick us out." I turned toward the hallway. "Emily." She stepped forward, trembling but strong. "I want them to leave." Ryan stared at her. "You don't mean that." "I do," she said. "I'm done being silent." The house erupted into chaos, shouting, accusations, guilt. But Emily didn't back down. By sunset, bags were packed. Ryan stood in the driveway, furious. "You're choosing your father over me." Emily answered calmly, "I'm choosing myself." The aftermath was painful. Emily mourned the marriage she thought she had. Ryan begged, promised change. Emily asked for space. Therapy helped. Time helped more. One evening, we sat on the porch watching the sunset. "I thought love meant enduring everything," she said quietly. I squeezed her hand. "Love doesn't ask you to disappear." She smiled through tears. "Thank you for saving me." I shook my head. "You saved yourself. I just reminded you who you are." Now, a year later, the house breathes again. Laughter fills the rooms. Emily planted roses in the yard. She repainted the kitchen yellow, the color of hope. As for me, at 70 years old, I've learned one final lesson. A gift should never become a burden. Love should never demand silence. And a home is not built with walls, but with respect. Moral of the story: true love empowers, it never erases. And the greatest gift a parent can give is not protection from hardship, but the courage to stand up for one's worth.